All right, everyone, welcome to the April 25th work session of the Planning Board in Penfield, New York. Allison, please call a roll.
Hetzke.
Here.
Bastian.
Here.
Knauer.
Here.
Tidings.
Here.
Burton.
Here.
Nersinger.
Here.
Sangster.
Here.
O'Connor.
Here.
Weissar.
Here.
All right, we have an exciting show for you folks at home tonight. We have no minutes to approve, but we have
So it's a cliffhanger from last
three
meeting.
tabled applications to review. So Zach, would you like to start talking about them?
Why not? Let's
All
go.
right.
First table applications for the Wilbur's project, and these two will recuse themselves. Aha, see, I was ready. So board members Knauer and Burton have recused themselves from the table for this conversation. All right, so latest update to this is staff completed another PRC memo that was sent to the applicant very recently, I believe it was yesterday. And those were in response to the plans that were received on the 5th, which the board had saw in a public hearing. So we're gonna see some responses to comments on that for mainly the technical details at this point. We did request a landscape plan be provided, and that was submitted today for your review. Doug has pulled that up. I'll briefly go over some of the details. You'll see new landscaping being proposed along the frontages where the green spaces are being created. They expressed to us that these will be salt tolerant plants, given the proximity to Salt Road. I'm saying salt a lot.
It's good thinking.
Good thinking indeed. At this point, I would just ask if the board would like to send it to your consultant for his review of this, to see if it's the appropriate coverage of plantings and species type, or if you have any immediate thoughts about it.
Yeah, I think that was our original request anyways, wasn't it?
Was it?
Yeah, if I recall. I think we mentioned that.
To send to Bruce.
Huh?
To send to Bruce.
Yeah, want to take a look at it?
Not uncommon.
Okay.
So they have it in 3 areas though, just at the north, middle north, and then at the south side of the site as well. There's some new landscaping being proposed. That's the highlights of that.
Okay.
You also received a memo from the Zoning Board of Appeals. They had their public hearing last week. Their memo, in a nutshell, said that they're supportive of the project and the improvements to the right-of-way and the benefits that come with that, making it a safer area for all. They do not have any objections to what was being proposed and tabled the matter pending any information that you may seek from them between now and next meetings.
Okay.
If there isn't anything, we can correspond with them saying that thank you for your memo and you may proceed as...
So,
Well, they still have to wait for seeker,
Yes.
so.
Correct, thank you, Pete.
yeah, the order of action would be, we make a seeker determination
Yes.
and they do their thing before we do our thing, don't they?
Correct. That's the sequence for potential approvals would be a secret determination by this board. The zoning board makes their decision, then it comes back here for final site plan decision.
Okay.
So all that would take place after the boards have their site tour, which we're looking at for the first full week of May.
Mm-hmm.
So that the board members can get out there and take a look at this facility as requested. So we're in the process of finalizing those details. But yes, wanted to capture that you did receive the memo from the zoning board.
Was there any concerns from zoning regarding the parking issues with the employee parking or anything like that?
There was nothing in the memo capturing that, Pete. We were at the meeting.
I don't think they talked about that. They had already received, I think, the revised plan that resulted in some moving of the parking spaces, but I don't remember which plan it was.
They would have seen this plan showing that land bank parking up top and land bank down there at the south of those spaces, just to minimize the activity down there at the south side of the site, and then giving themselves some room if they need future parking up at the north there. if what they are proposing was not sufficient in the future.
Okay.
So that's there. A couple other things we wanted to bring up to the board as potential items for your tabling resolution this evening. We haven't seen a lighting plan yet, and with the new buildings, we're obviously going to see some new lighting.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's appropriate to ask for that.
Absolutely.
Obviously, all dark sky compliant, shields where necessary, no floodlights, so on and so forth. I did receive a couple public comments during the week as phone calls. I just wanted to bring those up to the board. One of them being just residents curious about the PA system on the property and kind of how they intend to use it or improve it, or if there are any proposed changes to it with this application. So I didn't know if the board wanted to ask clarification about that.
I think that's appropriate.
Okie doke. I'll write that one down. Also, kind of again on the topic of just noise from the site, that kind of obviously out there a lot of noise carries. One thing that I haven't noticed in the application yet is the hours of operation for, I'll say, the non-customer based operation. So for your workers who are managing the yard,
Mm-hmm.
moving things frequently or not frequently, but moving things with loaders with backup alarms on them, and what those hours are like, just to try and capture that and to see if there's any more discussion that would be needed about that, because that noise from the machinery can travel, and neighbors again have heard it from time to time, especially on like Sundays, for example.
Okay.
So we can
Guess
ask
we
for
can-
information.
I guess we can ask for information.
I think it's just more about gaining information at this point than making any rushed decisions about stop doing
Mhm.
that.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I had in terms of
Okay.
any kind of items that are still left out there with this, with the site plan review process.
Okay.
I'm good, yeah.
Okay. So I just need a tabling.
Yep. Go
Motion?
ahead, make the motion to table.
I'll second.
Hetzke,
Aye.
Bastian,
Aye.
Tidings.
All right. Thank you all. Thanks,
All right.
Mike.
Thanks.
And they're coming back.
Welcome back, gents.
Off to Panorama. I just need the grading plan, Doug, when you get there. Not worried about that right now. So, with our application for Panorama Office Park, located at 125 Panorama Creek Drive, first thing we can take care of this evening is lead agency. Our 30-day window has closed. No agencies objected to the planning board being the lead agency on this project, so I would, unless there are any questions about it, ask for a vote to accept lead agency.
I'll move we accept lead agency.
I'll second.
Hetzke,
Aye.
Bastian,
Aye.
Burton,
Aye.
Knauer,
Aye.
Tidings.
Aye.
Okay.
Perfect.
For the lead agent.
We are. Here we go. Next.
Do you want the DOT grading plan or the
Nope,
full
just a
site?
grading plan of the
Okay.
site at the south tip of the property.
Second.
There we are. Or the overall grading, whichever one you want to zoom to. So last time we spoke, we brought up this topic of some of the proposed grading for the project. There we are. And mainly around the area of those existing, I think there are oak trees in there, and some of the proposed grading there. Board asked for clarification about if this area could be remain undisturbed at this time, since there is no actual site plan for a building there at this time. Spoke with the applicant, and they are going to revise the plans to accommodate that.
Okay.
So this will be updated in a future set of plans going forward. Other items with site plan, basically right now our staff is looking at the latest set of plans for technical items mainly, and sending that back to the applicant in a PRC memo, just to kind of wrap up what they previously submitted in response to the first PRC memo. Again, those items are technical in nature at this point.
Okay.
So, we also received public comments from the Allen Creek Homeowners Association. Those have been provided to you this evening. Staff is working on providing responses to those so that the board and the applicant can review those as well as the Homeowners Association. In general, they are questions about just the nature of the project. Some of the comments that you heard during the public hearing about about some of the hours of construction, as well as hours, potential hours of operation for the businesses that would eventually be constructed there.
And deliveries and whatnot.
Exactly. Questions about lighting and some drainage things that are lighting would obviously take place later on in the process with site plan approvals for the buildings, drainage at this time. We're going to work on a response on that from the engineering side of things. Couple clarifying questions as they asked for some a copy of the seeker information, so we'll provide responses to that. In general, it'll be, if there is something that you wish to discuss, we'll have that opportunity at your next meeting, unless you wanted to go through some of it tonight.
I think we should have Phil. Yes, very slowly.
It's up to, I would
We
like
just
to,
got it this afternoon.
yeah, we
so-
got it recently, and I'd like to give you our responses as well, so everyone has that to work off of.
Yeah. Yeah.
With that being said, and again, because I haven't seen any major obstacles in our way or major concerns regarding the environmental aspect of this project, typically we look at this point to start drafting either a pause or neg deck for the application regarding seeker. And again, staff would see this as preparation of a draft negative declaration. Would the board
I
agree with
would-
that?
I think so. I don't know what you guys think,
I
but
think it's good.
Okay.
somebody want to move that we?
Well, I was going to include that in your tabling resolution to
Okay,
capture it
fine.
all in one vote.
Fine.
So as part of the tabling resolution, we will include the preparation of a draft
Yeah.
negative declaration for your consideration at the next meeting, along with the completed EAF and obtaining the revised plans from the applicant with the grading amended as discussed.
Yes.
Okay. Any other questions from the board tonight about this project?
Nope. Good.
Good,
Okay.
good.
Somebody want to move
Just
it?
need a table.
So moved. I'll second.
Hetzke,
Aye.
Bastian,
Aye.
Burton,
Aye.
Canower,
Aye.
Tidings.
Aye.
Excellent. Thank you
Okay.
all. We'll get working on that.
See ya.
See you, Peter.
Hey, Pete.
Your third table application for 280 Panorama Trail, we do not have any updates at this time. We just received written responses to some of the comments from staff, as well as the board's tabling resolution from the previous meeting. We are reviewing that. We have not received a revised site plan to reflect those responses. So at this time, I have no updates for the board on that project.
Okay.
And just would ask for a continued table motion.
Okay, continue table motion.
Second?
I'm sorry, that was
Bastian and Canower.
Bastian and Canower, thank you. Hetzke,
Aye.
Bastian,
Aye.
Burton,
Aye.
Canower,
Aye.
Tidings.
Aye.
Alrighty. And that concludes our tabled applications. We have one, I believe it's new business item, I forgot. Yes, it's a new business item for this evening. It is for the re-subdivision of a property on Penfield Road. Perhaps we could jump over there first on the aerial map, Doug, just to see what it's like.
Bigger fellows.
Zoom out a little bit. There it is. So we're looking at 2451 and 2453 Penfield Road.
Those flag lights?
Correct, they are flag lots with a very complicated history. So what you see there is 2 lots today, and the proposals for 2 lots at the end of this. So I want to give you this version first. If we jump to the plat map they provided, which, there we go. All right. At one point in time, lot AR1 was a landlocked parcel with a shared access agreement for the driveway out to Penfield Road. That property went into foreclosure as land was being deed transferred, which means that you didn't see it as a board to change lot lines, which happens a lot. Well, the foreclosure is kind of wrapping up and someone actually has an offer on the property, but in order for them to purchase the property, they have to get the lot AR1 back in its original configuration when it was foreclosed on. So, this is kind of a 2-part proposal, and you will see this again in the future.
For the same thing.
To, more or less, basically, this first approval is to grant a re-subdivision of the property for a landlocked parcel with the easement out to the road that is a filed document, and it's documented on the map with a Library page. So that would be part 1. Then, once the new owner is in possession of the home, the mortgage goes through, yada yada yada, there is a plan by Tim Crane, the owner of the residual lands, to sell both the strip, the flag, out to the road and merge it to the landlocked parcel, giving it frontage on the road, as well as a little bit of residual acreage on the back part. But again, none of that can really happen until the bank sees that this lot is back the way it was in this configuration shown.
Okay.
Sorry for the really long story, but I had to explain it. So, all we ask for, if there aren't any questions, is a vote granting the chairman to sign off on the proposed plat map, and we'll likely see it again sometime soon.
I move to approve the AJ signing off on for the
Plat map.
Thank you.
I'll second.
All right.
And that's conditioned with the easement, is that how it's gonna work?
Yes, and the easement's in place. It's already filed library page.
Okay.
Luckily, that
I'm
was.
surprised that,
You won't see it there. It's
what's her
private.
name's, who's the builder that did?
I think I know what you're thinking of.
My father-in-law lives there. On Balmoral Drive, that
Oh,
old development right there.
Oh,
That one.
Pride Mart.
Pride Mart.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they didn't buy 2453.
From what I tell, the Crane family likes their property, and all of it is going to be kind of stay in the family, actually, even the newly purchased lot from the bank. So,
Okay.
yeah, just wanted to capture that tonight.
Can you take a
And-
vote?
Yeah, these are.
Oh, sure, fine.
Hetzke,
Aye.
Bastian,
Aye.
Burton,
Aye.
Canower,
Aye.
Tidings.
Aye.
Details.
So demanding.
It was kind of like all for, all opposed situation there. But yeah, that is all we have this evening.
All right. Any other business from you folks?
Bill?
No,
Adam?
You sure?
I can think of some things.
All right, then we will adjourn. We'll see you all
I like the story of that.
In May.
second Thursday of May.